Hello, welcome to TTV News. Ladies and gentlemen, in the morning of December 13, in Phu City, Kinh Giang Province, Region 5 of Vietnam Navy's and Brim Sea Pace, Cambodian Royal Navy, have a 30-second conference to learn from Joint Patrol's experiences.
At the conference, the two sides evaluated that on the 71st and 72nd Joint Patrols in the historic waters of Vietnam, Cambodia, the two navies coordinated to effectively implement the contents according to the Joint Patrol regulations, organize strict observation and control of vehicles operating in historical waters, thereby contributing to maintaining security, order, peace and stability, creating favorable conditions for the people of the two countries to develop the marine economy. In the coming time, the two sides will continue to coordinate to fight and prevent illegal activities at sea, strengthen propaganda and mobilize fishermen of the two countries to strictly comply with regulations operating in historical waters, effectively maintain communication channels, especially hotlines, and promptly coordinate to harmoniously and satisfactorily handle incidents occurring at sea in the spirit of cooperation, respect for international law, and independence, sovereignty, and for the benefit of each country. After 3 years of implementing the skillful mass mobilization movement in the period of 2021-2025, the mass mobilization system from province to grassroots in the province has implemented 1,591 models in many fields. This is an encouraging result. At the preliminary conference taking place in the morning of December 13, Mr. Phạm Hùng Thái, Standing Deputy Secretary of the Provincial Party Committee, head of the Provincial National Assembly delegation, also emphasized that the movement has gathered and mobilized a large number of people from all walks of life to participate, creating consensus and trust among the people. The initiative and positivity of people participating in the movement has contributed to successfully implementing local political tasks, maintaining political security, social order and safety in the province. The emulation movement has contributed to connecting, promoting and increasing the effectiveness of patriotic emulation movements. At the conference, Mr. Phạm Hùng Thái also proposed that in the coming time on levels, ranges and localities, need to continue to promote the emulation movements. In the fields of economy, culture, society, defense, security, building the party and the political system associated with implementing key political tasks of all levels, ranges, localities and units. Pay attention to mass mobilization work of state agencies, strengthen dialogue, receive citizens, and promptly resolve complaints, denunciations, and legitimate opinions, recommendations, and aspirations of the people. Implement well the grassroots democracy regulations in on tasks according to motto: people know, people discuss, people do, people check, people supervise, people enjoy. On December 13, the Civil Judgment Execution Department of Tay Ninh Province organized a conference to summarize the work of civil judgment enforcement in 2023 and deploy the work of civil judgment enforcement and monitoring of administrative judgments 2024. During the conference was Mr. Võ Đức Trong, Standing Vice Chairman of the Provincial Appeals Committee, head of the Provincial Civil Judgment Enforcement Steering Committee. Mr. Võ Xuân Biên, Director of the Provincial Civil Judgment Enforcement Department. In 2023, more than 24,600 cases were resolved. Speaking at the conference on orientation for civil judgment enforcement in 2024, Mr. Võ Đức Trong emphasized that thoroughly cross and organized serious implementation, the effectiveness of the party's guidelines and policies, the state laws in civil judgment enforcement activities, and monitoring the execution of administrative judgment, especially Regulation Number 132, dated October 27, 2023, of the Police Bureau on controlling power, preventing and combating corruption and negativity in investigation, prosecution, trial, and judgment enforcement activities. committees continue to well implement the regulations on intersectoral coordination and fulfill the role of the Standing Committee of the two-level Civil Judgment Enforcement Steering Committee, further strengthen propaganda, education, and advocacy so that people who have to execute sentences voluntarily execute and do not oppose. After 2 days of training, in the morning of December 13, the political theory training class for members, reporters, and collaborators, organized by the TayNinhTV Provincial Journalists Association, in coordination with the Provincial Party Committee's Propaganda and Training Department. During the class, trainees had Mr. Nguyễn Quang Thắng, Deputy Head of the Provincial Party Committee's Propaganda and Training Department, deployed the topic fighting against corruption and negativity and the roles and responsibilities of the press. Ms. Nguyễn Thị Thu Cúc, Deputy Head of the Provincial Party Committee's Propaganda and Training Department, implemented the topic the party leads press activities and fights against and protects the party's ideological foundation. Speaking at the end of the class, Mr. Nguyễn Thế Lực, Standing Vice Chairman of the Provincial Journalists Association, commented that although the training periods were short, the students were equipped with useful basic knowledge in training of political theory, building strong primary positions, viewpoints, and political ideologies, as well as raising awareness on the issue of protecting the party's ideological foundation, fighting against the wrong allegations of the party, of hostile forces from there, improve the quality of journalistic and propaganda work to best meet the requirements in the current situation.
In the morning of December 13th, the Steering Committee of the Movement on People Unite to Build Cultural Life and Family Work in Long Thành Trung Work, Hoa Tân Thao, have a ceremony to announce the decisions to recognize as the worst meet to the civilized urban standards.
Through the process of organizing and implementing the plan to register the work to meet civilized urban standards, the Party Committee and people of Long Thành Trung Work have promoted the tradition of self-reliance, solidarity, striving to rise and achieve targets of socio-economic and civilized urban development. The World People's Committee headquarters, schools, and medical stations were renovated and upgraded to ensure standards rose in the world were asphalted and concreted. The number of households using clean water reached 100%. The rate was 100%. The rate of people of working age having jobs reaches over 90%. Social security is guaranteed. The political security situation and social order and safety are maintained stable. To date, the world has met 9 out of 9 criteria for building a civilized urban area. Speaking at the ceremony, Mr. Lê Hồng Vân, Standing Vice Chairman of Hoa Tân Thao People's Committee, requested that Long Thành Trung World need to strengthen the leadership and direction of the Party Committee and government, continuing to correct urban design in the direction of general urban planning of Type 3 of the town, launching the Green Clean Beautiful emulation movement, rising and rewarding the replication of new models, typical collective and individual examples, in implementing a civilized lifestyle and a culture family. In the morning of December 13, Mr. Trần Văn Chiến, Vice Chairman of the Provincial Peace Committee, Chairman of the Provincial Outcome Product Evaluation and Classification Council, chaired the meeting to evaluate outcome TayNinhTV products in 2023. This meeting aims to appraise documents, evaluate and rank products participating in the outcome program proposed by the district level. Specifically, the product entertained rice paper is rated 4 stars in 2021 and by 2022 was evaluated and ranked 5 stars by the council according to the set of criteria specified in decision number 1048 dated August 21st, 2019 of the Prime Minister. Up to now, the organization evaluates and ranks products according to the new set of criteria specified in decision number 148 dated February 24, 2023 of the Prime Minister. For products include cheese rice paper, garlic satay rice paper, shrimp and onion satay rice paper, super spicy salted chili rice paper, ranked 3 stars from 2021, now rated to upgrade the product to 4 stars. As a result of the voting, 100% of council members agreed that the product entertained rice paper scored 100 out of 100 points according to the new set of criteria. At 5 stars, the remaining products get 4 stars. Mr. Trần Văn Chiến assigned the Department of Agriculture and Rural Development to complete the dossier and submit it to the upcoming Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development to officially recognize the entertained rice paper products as ranked 5 stars. The remaining products are rated 4 stars. Entertained rice paper is the first product of TayNinhTV Province with potential to achieve 5-star rating. At the recent TAN meeting, the People's Council of TayNinhTV Province passed the resolution on the 2024 Socio-Economic Development Plan, in which focusing on recovering and development of industry, especially the processing and manufacturing industry. Accordingly, the Provincial People's Council requested relevant sectors and localities to implement a number of issues such as quickly deploy Phase 3 of Phước Trọng Industrial Park, accelerate the progress of infrastructure investment in Hiệp Thành Industrial Park, Tân Phú Industrial Cluster, and Tân Hội 2 Industrial Cluster. The Standing Committee of the Provincial People's Council assessed that the province's current industrial production situation continues to grow, but is still low. The industrial production index in 2023 is estimated to increase by 8.9% over the same period. In order to promote industrial development, the province has currently issued a supporting industry development plan in the province for the period of 2023-2025, with the goal of producing supporting industrial products for the following goals: serving production and export, participating in the global value chain, contributing to promoting local economic restructuring towards industrialization and modernization. In 2023, the tourism industry of TayNinhTV Province continues to achieve impressive growth, of which the total tourism revenue for the whole year is estimated to reach 2,000 billion Vietnam dong, exceeding more than 11% of the plan, an increase over 36.5% over the same period last year. It is expected that by the end of December, TayNinhTV will welcome about 5.1 million visitors to tourist areas and attractions, an increase of over 13.2% over the same period. The increase in the number of visitors has promoted the growth of industries such as accommodation, food and beverage services, and other services.
The Orient cultural industry development is becoming a trend and is identified as an important sustainable part, attracting resources, labor, jobs, and promoting competitive advantages. It is expected that a national conference on the development of Vietnam's cultural industries will take place. This is a particularly important conference, helping the cultural industry become a new breakthrough field for the country's sustainable development.
The conference will be an opportunity to summarize and evaluate the results of implementing decision number 1755 of the Prime Minister approving the strategy for development of Vietnam's cultural industries to 2020, vision to 2030. Assess the current status of the development of cultural industries, identify difficulties and obstacles, as well as propose solutions to promote the development of cultural industries in the future. Experts expect that the National Conference on the Development of Vietnam's Cultural Industries, especially chaired by the Prime Minister, will be an opportunity for 20 cultural industries to reassess their success and difficulties and inadequacies from which to move towards a better future for Vietnam's cultural industries to develop together. I think that organizing a conference on cultural industries is an important step to meet the requirements that are being set forth in terms of theory and practice. And in practice, this conference is also a breakthrough in how we can perfect the policy mechanism related to the development of cultural industry in Vietnam. There are many bottlenecks in institutional mechanisms, especially intersectoral and local coordination mechanisms. So in the coming period, development must be to create a more realistic mechanisms. We must understand that the state's institutional framework contributes to encouraging creative classes, especially to interest in investment. 12 cultural industries include advertising, architecture, software and entertainment, games, crafts, design, film, podcasts, fashion, performing arts, fine arts, photography and exhibitions, television and radio, cultural tourism. The cooperation of the government, ministries, branches and localities will help the cultural industry become a new breakthrough field for the country's sustainable development.
Ladies and gentlemen, according to the statistics from the Competition Management Departments of the Ministry of Industry and Trade, each year there are about 1,500 consumer complaints related to buying and selling transactions on online platforms such as counterfeit goods, poor quality goods, and unknown origins, and purchase without invoice or documents. With the opposed situation, the authority have increased coordinations and proposed many urgent solutions to promptly attack the masterminds and leaders of smuggling, trade fraud, and counterfeit goods.
People's purchasing trends are changing rapidly in the last 2 to 3 years and in the following years for any products, causing logistic delivery services to develop strongly. E-commerce has also become a channel for consuming fake and poor quality goods. If the online environment is not controlled, it will cause damage to the economy, affect consumers, and the platform itself, where people buy online, will lose credibility. According to the latest statistics of the General Department of Market Management, in the first 10 months of 2023, the market management force nationwide inspected over 62,000 cases, handled nearly 45,000 violations, and collected over 410 billion Vietnam dong. In the coming time, the General Department will coordinate with ministry and branches to more closely manage the e-commerce market. To have good management, the regulations on sanctions must also change. The General Department of Market Management in 2024 will continue to advise leaders of the Ministry of Industry and Trade and submit to the government to amend and supplement the decree on sanctions in the field of commerce, especially related to e-commerce activities, to ensure deterrence, prevention, and combat of violations. The Ministry of Industry and Trade is still the honor in which the General Department of Market Management, the Department of E-commerce and Digital Economy will review legal documents to enhance the responsibility of management agencies and floor owners in regulating transparency of information source. In addition, we also review websites for signs of violations to handle them. Next is to improve the capacity of market management officers and local inspectors, strengthen coordination and data sharing with the General Department of Market Management to facilitate information lookup, coordinate the implementation of working groups. In order to help people prevent the situation of mistakenly buying fake news or goods of unknown origin, the Ministry of Industry and Trade has been implementing a genuine product authentication system through QR code with a terminal address research.gov.vn. Fighting counterfeit and enriching goods in cyberspace is an extremely difficult task. Therefore, the market management force needs the cooperation of ministry, branches, localities, and businesses. In particular, the fight against counterfeit goods must start with the initiative of businesses, because businesses themselves are the ones who understand their products best. This is the fourth time that Vietnam has been honored by the World Travel Awards as the world's leading heritage destination in 2023. With this award, Vietnam once again affirms its potential and top attraction in terms of natural resources as well as long-standing cultural historic values. Heritage Colors, Convergence and Spread is the theme of Ninh Bình Tràng An Festival that will take place from December 26 to 31st. The organizing committee said that, along with Ninh Bình heritage, many intangible cultural heritage in all three regions of North, Central and South will converge here. In the Northwest and Central Highlands, the heritage of the art of sway dance of the Thai people and gongs are unique highlights that attract tourists to have authentic experience of indigenous cultural heritage. These two heritage sites have just been promoted in Hanoi to convey the message to domestic and foreign tourists to go to the Northwest, go to the Central Highlands. Considering heritage as an asset, regularly organizing diverse and attractive cultural activities not only helps convey and spread cultural heritage values to the community, but also maximize the potential of cultural heritage. Skills, strengths, and cultural values carry identity in the development of the cultural industry in the coming time.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's all for today, TTV News. Thank you for being with us and goodbye for now.